What if I told you your heart could feel 15 years younger without medication, surgery, or gimmicks? Hi there, and welcome back to Elevate Wellness, the place where smarter choices lead to stronger living. I'm so glad you're here. Today, we're diving into a topic that's been quietly affecting millions of people over 60, and chances are it's affecting you or someone you love. We're talking about heart aging, why it happens faster than we think, and more importantly, what you can do to slow it down. Here's the truth. Many of the symptoms we chalk up to getting older, fatigue, shortness of breath, poor sleep, brain fog, can actually be signs that your heart is running low on essential nutrients. But here's the good news, you can change that. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 8 research-backed nutrients that could help you reclaim your energy, improve your circulation, and support your heart like never before. These aren't fads. They are real tools used by doctors, and in many cases by me personally, for patients who want to age on their own terms. But before we jump in, don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who needs it, and hit that subscribe button. It helps us grow, and it gives us the motivation to keep bringing you life-changing wellness content every week. All right, ready to take your heart health to the next level? Let's get into it. Number 8. Coenzyme Q10, the heart's mini power plant. If your heart had a battery, CoQ10 would be the charge that keeps it going. Let me tell you about one of the most overlooked yet powerful nutrients your heart craves, especially if you're over 60 or taking cholesterol-lowering medications. It's called Coenzyme Q10, or CoQ10 for short. And for many of my older patients, it's been nothing short of a game changer. CoQ10 is a vitamin-like compound that lives inside every cell of your body. Its job, to help your cells produce energy, particularly in organs that demand a lot of it, like your heart. Think of it as the mini power plant inside your heart cells, fueling every beat, every contraction, and every second you're alive. Now, here's the kicker. Your natural CoQ10 levels begin to drop around age 40, and by 60, you could be producing less than half of what your heart actually needs. And if you're taking statin medications, like Lipitor or Crestor, the situation gets even worse. Statins, while great for lowering cholesterol, also suppress your body's ability to make CoQ10. That's why so many patients on these meds report fatigue, muscle aches, and brain fog, not just side effects, but signs of cellular energy depletion. I'll never forget one of my patients, Frank Miller, 72, who came in exhausted. He was on statins for years, but had no idea they were draining his energy. We added 100 mg of CoQ10 to his daily routine. Within 3 weeks, Frank was walking longer, sleeping better, and his words, not mine, feeling like my old self again. And the science backs it up. Multiple clinical studies have shown that supplementing with ubiquinol, the active form of CoQ10, can significantly improve energy levels, heart function, and even exercise capacity in older adults. One study found that heart failure patients taking 300 mg per day experienced notable improvements in heart performance within just a month. The form of CoQ10 you take matters. Ubiquinol is absorbed much better than the more common form, ubiquinone, especially in people over 60, and always take it with a meal that contains healthy fats like avocado or olive oil to boost absorption. If you're over 60, especially if you're on statins or feel like your energy has taken a nosedive, CoQ10 could be your missing puzzle piece. It's not a miracle, but it's a molecule your heart depends on every single day. In the next section, we'll talk about another essential vitamin that works hand in hand with CoQ10 to help your arteries stay young and flexible. Let's take a look at vitamin D3 and K2, the calcium traffic controllers. Number 7. Vitamin D3 plus K2, the calcium traffic controllers. Taking calcium without D3 and K2 is like sending traffic onto a highway with no signs. It might end up in the wrong place. Most people over 60 are told to take calcium for their bones, But here's the problem. Without the right guidance, that calcium might not go to your bones. It could land in your arteries. That's where the powerful duo of vitamin D3 and K2 steps in. Let's break this down simply. Vitamin D3 helps your body absorb calcium from the foods you eat or the supplements you take. That's great, except D3 alone doesn't tell your body where to put that calcium. And here's where things can go wrong. Without clear direction, some of that calcium can deposit in your arteries, contributing to stiffness, plaque buildup, or even calcification. This is why vitamin K2 is so essential. K2's job is to direct calcium to the right places, namely your bones and teeth, and keep it out of soft tissues like your arteries and kidneys. It activates a special protein called matrix glyprotein MGP, which literally scrubs calcium out of your blood vessels. Without enough K2, that calcium can turn from a helper into a hazard. I had a patient, Linda Parker, 68, who was taking calcium and D3 every day, just like her doctor advised. But she also had a family history of heart disease. After reviewing her lab work and coronary calcium score, we introduced vitamin K2, MK7 form, into her supplement plan. 6 months later, her follow-up showed no progression in arterial calcification, and she even reported less joint stiffness and improved energy. Research from Europe, especially the Rotterdam study out of the Netherlands, found that people with higher intakes of K2 had 57% less arterial calcification and were 50% less likely to die from heart disease. That's not a small difference. And when combined with D3, the synergy is powerful. Now, let's talk dosage. Most of my patients benefit from 2,000 IU of vitamin D3 paired with 100 micrograms of vitamin K2 in the MK7 form. MK7 stays active in the body longer than MK4 and is better at reaching blood vessel walls. It's important to take this combo with a meal that includes healthy fats like nuts, eggs, or olive oil to ensure proper absorption. Another note, vitamin K2 is found mainly in fermented foods like natto, a traditional Japanese soy dish. But since that's not exactly popular in the U.S., especially among older adults, supplementation becomes the most reliable option. In short, D3 helps get the calcium in, and K2 tells it where to go. It's a simple partnership with life-changing potential, especially if you're fighting osteoporosis or have a history of heart disease. Up next, we'll look at a mineral that's often forgotten but critical to steady heartbeats and peaceful sleep: magnesium, the ultimate calming agent for the aging heart. Number 6. Magnesium, the heart's natural rhythm keeper. If your heart skips a beat, your body might be whispering, "I need more magnesium." Magnesium is one of those minerals you rarely hear about, until your heart starts racing, your legs start cramping, or you can't get a good night's sleep. For people over 60 especially, it's one of the most quietly essential nutrients you might be missing. Magnesium plays a vital role in over 300 enzymatic reactions in the body, and several of those directly impact your heart and nervous system. One of its key jobs is regulating the flow of calcium and potassium into and out of heart cells. This is what keeps your heartbeat steady and your blood vessels relaxed. Now here's the issue. More than 80% of older adults are magnesium deficient, often without even knowing it. The signs are subtle. Maybe your heartbeat feels irregular, maybe you're more anxious than usual, or maybe you're having a hard time staying asleep through the night. Sound familiar? I remember one of my patients, James Carter, 74, who came to me complaining of restless sleep and sudden flutters in his chest. After a basic blood panel and a deeper look into his medications, he was on a diuretic for high blood pressure. We saw the signs: magnesium loss through urine, a common side effect of certain meds. We started him on 200 mg of magnesium glycinate in the evening. Within 2 weeks, his sleep improved dramatically and his heart rhythm settled. "I feel calm again," he told me. There are several types of magnesium out there, but for heart health and better absorption, magnesium glycinate is the gold standard. It's gentle on the stomach, less likely to cause diarrhea, unlike magnesium oxide, and has a calming effect on the nervous system. Magnesium citrate is another decent option, especially if mild constipation is an issue. But timing matters too. Taking magnesium about 30 to 60 minutes before bed can help relax your muscles, settle your nerves, and ease your heart into a slower, steadier rhythm. That's why I often call it nature's beta blocker. It helps the heart slow down just enough to rest, without medication. Studies show that magnesium supplementation can reduce systolic blood pressure by up to 5 points, and more importantly, lower the risk of sudden cardiac death by 41%. That's a statistic I never ignore, especially when something as simple as a mineral can make such a difference. So whether you're dealing with palpitations, high blood pressure, or just struggling to sleep through the night, magnesium could be the missing link your heart and body have been asking for. Coming up next, we'll dive into a fat that's actually good for your heart. Omega-3s, the artery-friendly oil that cleans as it heals. Number 5. Omega-3, the artery's natural lubricant. If your arteries could talk, they'd ask for omega-3 every morning. Inflammation is the slow-burning fire behind most heart problems, and if there's one nutrient that can put out that fire, improve your cholesterol, and sharpen your mind, it's omega-3 fatty acids. Omega-3s are essential fats your body cannot produce on its own, which means you have to get them through diet or supplementation. The two most powerful types are EPA, eicosapentaenoic acid, and DHA, docosahexaenoic acid. These are the heart's best friends, reducing inflammation, improving blood vessel flexibility, and even helping regulate your heartbeat. Let's talk results. Studies show that people who get enough omega-3s have a 25% lower risk of dying from heart disease. Not only that, but they often have lower triglyceride levels, improved HDL, the good cholesterol, and reduced risk of plaque buildup in their arteries. And it doesn't stop at the heart. DHA is critical for brain health too. I often recommend omega-3s to older adults not just for cardiovascular support, but to help preserve memory, clarity, and mood. I had a patient, Marion Turner, age 69, who came in with slightly elevated triglycerides and occasional brain fog. She wasn't big on eating fish, so we started her on a high-quality fish oil supplement, 200 mg of combined EPA and DHA per day. Within 2 months, her blood work improved, and she told me, "I don't know if it's placebo or not, but I feel sharper in the morning." I told her it wasn't a placebo, it was good science. But, and this is important, not all omega-3 supplements are created equal. A lot of the cheaper options on the market are oxidized, poorly processed, or contaminated with heavy metals like mercury. Always look for fish oil that is IFO certified or third-party tested for purity and freshness. And check the label. It should show the actual amounts of EPA and DHA, not just fish oil 1,000 mg. For vegetarians or those who don't tolerate fish oil well, algae oil is a fantastic alternative. It naturally contains DHA and often EPA, and it's a clean, sustainable source with no fishy aftertaste. For best results, omega-3 should be taken with meals to enhance absorption and minimize any chance of fish burps. And consistency matters, like brushing your teeth. This is something you do daily, not just when you remember. Omega-3s don't just help your heart. They clean your arteries, support your brain, and cool inflammation at the source. But quality matters, so don't settle for bargain bin fish oil. Next, we'll explore a forgotten vitamin that quietly fuels your heart from the inside out. Vitamin B1, your heart's unsung energy source. Number 4. Vitamin B1, Benfotiamine, the heart's forgotten fuel. If you're feeling tired, swollen, and short of breath, your heart might just be running out of gas. For older adults, especially those living with diabetes, one overlooked vitamin could be making a world of difference. It's called vitamin B1, or more specifically, its highly absorbable form, Benfotiamine, and it's one of the most underrated tools for heart energy and vascular health. Vitamin B1, also known as thiamine, plays a critical role in turning the food you eat, especially carbohydrates, into energy. And no organ relies on that energy more than your heart. When thiamine levels run low, your heart's ability to pump efficiently drops. This can lead to symptoms like fatigue, fluid retention, and even irregular heartbeat. Now here's where it gets serious. People with diabetes and those taking diuretics are at especially high risk for B1 deficiency. Diuretics, often prescribed for high blood pressure or heart failure, cause you to flush out thiamine in your urine. Meanwhile, elevated blood sugar in diabetics accelerates the loss and destruction of this vital nutrient. I once treated a patient named George Whitman, 71 years old, who had type 2 diabetes and early signs of heart failure, fatigue, mild swelling in his ankles, and low exercise tolerance. After some testing and a thorough review of his medications, I suspected thiamine deficiency. We added 150 mg of benfotiamine daily, and within a month his energy returned, his swelling decreased, and even his echocardiogram showed a slight improvement in cardiac output. It was a small change, but it had a big impact on how he felt day to day. So why benfotiamine instead of regular B1? Because it's far better absorbed, especially into nerve and heart tissue. Traditional thiamine gets broken down easily in the digestive tract, while benfotiamine stays intact longer, reaching the places that need it most. Clinical studies back this up. In patients with congestive heart failure, supplementation with thiamine has been shown to improve left ventricular function. That's the part of the heart responsible for pumping oxygenated blood to the body. In diabetics, it also helps reduce advanced glycation end products, age, the damaging compounds linked to blood vessel stiffness and neuropathy. Food sources of B1 include things like sunflower seeds, pork, and black beans. But to get therapeutic levels, supplementation is often necessary, especially if medications or age are interfering with absorption. If you or someone you love is living with diabetes, heart fatigue, or unexplained swelling, benfotiamine might be the missing link in your care plan. It fuels your heart, supports your nerves, and helps turn sluggish days into stronger ones. Coming up next, we'll look at a vitamin that doesn't just support heart rhythm. It acts like a natural filter for toxic buildup in your arteries. Let's talk about vitamin B6, the rhythm regulator your heart depends on. Number 3, vitamin C, the artery builder. Your blood vessels are only as strong as the collagen that holds them together, and vitamin C is the builder behind it all. Most people think of vitamin C as the go-to for colds or boosting immunity, but if you're over 60 and care about your heart, you should know. Vitamin C is one of your artery's best friends. Vitamin C, or ascorbic acid, is essential for collagen synthesis. That's the protein that provides structure and elasticity to your arteries. Without enough collagen, blood vessels become stiff, brittle, and prone to damage. And when arterial walls weaken, it's easier for cholesterol and plaque to settle in, increasing the risk of heart attack or stroke. I've seen it many times in older patients. Take Carolyn Hayes, 70 years old, who came in with frequent bruising and mild high blood pressure. Her diet was low in fresh produce, and after some blood work, it was clear her vitamin C levels were borderline deficient. We worked in more guavas, bell peppers, and oranges into her daily meals, and added a gentle 500 mg supplement. Within 2 months, her skin looked better, bruising subsided, and her blood pressure was a few points lower. Sometimes, small tweaks bring real-world results. But vitamin C's benefits go far beyond structural support. It's also a powerful anti-inflammatory and antioxidant. That means it helps neutralize free radicals, the unstable molecules that damage cells and promote inflammation, especially in the arteries. Chronic inflammation is one of the main drivers of heart disease, and vitamin C acts like a firefighter, putting out those microscopic flames before they do damage. Another bonus: vitamin C helps regulate blood pressure naturally. It supports the function of endothelial cells, the thin lining of your blood vessels that control contraction and relaxation. Healthier endothelium means better blood flow, lower resistance, and steadier pressure. Now, I'll be honest, I don't recommend high-dose vitamin C for everyone. It's best to start with food first: citrus fruits, kiwi, strawberries, acerola cherries, even broccoli. Whole foods come with fiber, flavonoids, and other nutrients that enhance vitamin C's effects. But in certain cases, especially during illness, high stress, or recovery, I do suggest a moderate supplement, usually in the range of 501,000 mg per day, preferably in a slow-release form to improve absorption and reduce stomach upset. And remember, your body doesn't store vitamin C. It's water-soluble, which means what you don't use gets flushed out, so it's something you need to replenish daily. Vitamin C isn't just about avoiding a cold. It's about rebuilding and protecting the very vessels that carry life through your body. From collagen support to inflammation control, it's a silent guardian of cardiovascular health. Next up, we'll talk about a different kind of vitamin, one that doesn't build arteries but helps regulate the speed of your heartbeat itself. Let's dive into vitamin B6, the natural rhythm tuner for your heart. Number 2. Vitamin E mixed tocopherols, the shield for your arteries. It's not cholesterol itself that's the problem, it's what happens when it gets damaged. If you're watching your heart health, you've probably heard about cholesterol. But here's what's not often explained. Oxidized LDL cholesterol is the real enemy, and vitamin E in its full-spectrum form might just be your artery's best defense. Vitamin E is a fat-soluble antioxidant, and its job is to protect your cells, especially the fragile fats inside cholesterol particles, from oxidative stress. When LDL cholesterol becomes oxidized, it turns sticky, triggering your immune system to respond. That's how plaque begins to form inside artery walls. Now here's the catch. Most supplements only contain alpha-tocopherol, which is just one of 8 forms of vitamin E found in nature. While alpha-tocopherol does offer some benefits, using it alone, and in high doses, can actually suppress other important forms like gamma and delta tocopherol, which have their own powerful anti-inflammatory and artery protective properties. That's why I always recommend mixed tocopherol vitamin E, which includes all the natural subtypes. Gamma tocopherol, in particular, has been shown to neutralize reactive nitrogen species, another type of damaging molecule found in inflamed or aging arteries. Together, this blend creates a balanced antioxidant environment, instead of overloading your system with one single compound. I remember one of my patients, Tom Jenkins, 66, who had slightly elevated LDL levels but didn't want to start on statins right away. He also had a family history of heart disease. After a full review, we added a 200 IU mixed tocopherol supplement to his daily routine, alongside dietary adjustments. Over the next 3 months, his inflammation markers dropped slightly, and most importantly, his blood vessel elasticity, measured by pulse wave velocity, actually improved. "Feels like something's working," he told me. And I agreed. It was the combination of smart choices, including the right form of vitamin E. Beyond oxidation, vitamin E also supports blood vessel flexibility, which is crucial for maintaining healthy blood pressure and flow. Stiff arteries are more prone to damage during pressure spikes, and vitamin E helps maintain the elasticity and resilience of vascular tissue. But again, Quality and dosage matter. I usually recommend 200 to 400 IU per day from a high-quality mixed tocopherol source, and I never suggest megadoses unless under medical supervision. Too much vitamin E, especially synthetic alpha-tocopherol, can interfere with vitamin K and increase bleeding risk. And since it's fat-soluble, it should always be taken with a meal containing healthy fats for proper absorption. Vitamin E isn't just one nutrient, it's a family of antioxidants, each playing a role in shielding your arteries from damage and inflammation. But to get the full benefit, you need the full spectrum, not just the headline act. Next, let's talk about a vitamin that works at the electrical level, vitamin B6, the molecule that helps your heart keep the beat. Number 1. Vitamin B6 and B12 and folic acid, the homocysteine detox trio. You've probably never heard of homocysteine, but your arteries definitely have. This little-known amino acid can silently damage blood vessels, raise stroke risk, and accelerate aging in the heart. Fortunately, there's a proven trio that helps keep it in check: vitamin B6, B12, and folic acid. Homocysteine is a natural byproduct of protein metabolism, but in healthy people it doesn't stick around. Your body quickly breaks it down, only if you have enough of these key B vitamins. Without them, homocysteine builds up and scratches and inflames your artery walls, increasing the risk of clot formation, heart attack, and stroke. I had a patient, Dorothy Williams, 73, with a history of high blood pressure and memory issues. Her routine blood work looked fine, until we checked her homocysteine levels, which came back elevated. That's when we introduced a targeted supplement, B6, 25 mg, B12, 500 mcg as methylcobalamin, and 400 mcg of folic acid. 3 months later, her homocysteine dropped by nearly 40%, and she told me, "I feel clearer and steadier on my feet." That's not magic, that's biochemistry done right. Let's look at how this works. Vitamin B6 helps convert homocysteine into cysteine, a harmless amino acid your body can use. Vitamin B12 and folic acid work together to remethylate homocysteine into methionine, a building block for protein synthesis and brain function. Together, they don't just reduce cardiovascular risk, they support cognitive health, nerve integrity, and even red blood cell formation. This combo is especially important in older adults, since B12 absorption naturally declines with age. Many seniors are deficient and don't even know it, and folic acid, while available in many foods, is often underutilized in the body unless B12 levels are adequate. One thing I emphasize with all my patients: test before you guess. I always check homocysteine levels before recommending long-term supplementation. That way, we can personalize the dose and monitor progress, because too much of a good thing can backfire. High-dose B6, for example, taken in excess over time, may lead to nerve tingling or neuropathy. That's why I typically stick to moderate, safe doses in the ranges mentioned, enough to get the job done without overdoing it. And for those with absorption issues, methylated forms of B12 and folate are usually best. Managing homocysteine may not be on your radar, but it should be on your next blood test. With the right balance of B6, B12, and folic acid, you can detox this hidden threat and give your arteries the protection they deserve. Now that we've covered the full spectrum of heart protective nutrients, let's bring it all together in one final thought: how to create a daily routine that helps your heart beat strong for years to come. So, there you have it, 8 powerful nutrients that could help your heart stay stronger longer. No hype, no magic pills, just science, experience, and smart decisions that build up over time. If there's one thing I've learned after years of helping people reclaim their health, it's this: small, intentional changes can lead to big transformations. You don't have to do everything at once. Just start. Pick one thing today your future self will thank you for. And hey, if you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a like, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe to Elevate Wellness so you never miss another tip on how to live better, longer. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's one supplement or habit that's made a difference in your life? Let's keep the conversation going. And if you're ready for the next step in your wellness journey, check out the videos linked right here. We've got tons more practical, uplifting content to support your health from the inside out. Until next time, stay strong, stay curious, and keep choosing better every day. This is Elevate Wellness. Your next chapter in health starts here.